Let me start with a number that quietly reveals how most people lose money without even realizing it. The average American family throws away about $1,500 worth of food every year. Not eats, not enjoys, throws away, straight into the trash. Now pause for a moment and think about that. That isn't money spent on experiences. It isn't money invested. It isn't money improving someone's life. It's simply money that disappears without anyone noticing. Now combine that with something else. The average new car payment in the United States is now about $772 per month. For many buyers, especially those purchasing larger vehicles, that number exceeds $1,000 every single month. At the same time, millions of people stop at a coffee shop every morning and spend $6 to $8 on a drink that costs less than $1 to make at home. None of these habits feel extreme. A coffee feels small. A car payment feels normal. Throwing away a little food doesn't seem like a big deal, but when these habits repeat every day, week after week, year after year, something interesting happens. They quietly shape two very different financial futures. One future belongs to people who look wealthy. The other belongs to people who actually become wealthy. Because wealth rarely appears from one dramatic decision. It grows slowly through a collection of small habits repeated consistently over time. The problem is that these habits are incredibly boring. They don't look impressive, they don't generate excitement, and they definitely don't go viral on social media. Scroll through financial content online and you'll see endless advice about crypto wins, trading strategies, and overnight success stories. But the habits that actually build wealth rarely make headlines. They're simple, they're repetitive, and sometimes they require ignoring the spending habits everyone else considers normal. Today, we're going to look at 10 extremely unsexy habits that quietly build real wealth over time. None of them are glamorous. None of them will make you look impressive in the short term, but every one of them can dramatically improve your financial future if practiced consistently. And the strange truth about money is this: the more boring your financial habits become, the stronger your financial life usually gets. Habit 1. Drive an older car. One of the most expensive, normal habits in modern life is the new car payment. The average monthly payment for a new vehicle is around $772, which equals more than $9,000 per year, and that doesn't include insurance, fuel, or maintenance. But the real cost of new cars isn't the payment, it's depreciation. The moment a new vehicle leaves the dealership lot, it instantly loses a large portion of its value. Within the first year, many vehicles lose 25 to 30% of their value. That means a $45,000 car can lose over $12,000 in just 12 months. Financially disciplined households often approach transportation very differently. Instead of buying new vehicles every few years, they purchase cars that are 4 or 5 years old. Cars like a used Toyota Camry or Honda Accord that might cost $15,000 to $20,000. By that point, the steepest depreciation has already happened. The vehicle is still reliable, and modern cars regularly last 150,000 to 200,000 miles with basic maintenance. Research on millionaire behavior consistently shows the same pattern. The most common cars driven by millionaires are Toyotas, Hondas, and Fords. Not luxury brands. Reliable transportation that simply gets the job done. Because transportation only needs to accomplish one thing: getting you from point A to point B. A $4,000 Honda Civic and a $50,000 luxury SUV both arrive at the same destination. But financially, those two drivers are moving in very different directions. One is quietly building wealth. The other is quietly destroying it. And over time, the difference between a paid-off car and a financed one can quietly turn into hundreds of thousands of dollars. Habit 2. Rotate the same meals. Modern culture often treats food as entertainment. New recipes, new restaurants, endless choices. But financially disciplined households often approach food differently. Instead of constantly searching for new meals, they rotate 4 or 5 simple meals each week. At first, this might sound boring, but it creates several powerful advantages. First, grocery spending becomes predictable. When you buy the same ingredients week after week, you quickly learn exactly what everything costs. Second, food waste drops dramatically. The average American throws away about 325 pounds of food every year. Meal rotation ensures ingredients actually get used instead of sitting forgotten in the refrigerator. Another benefit appears quickly. Decision fatigue disappears. Instead of asking, "What should we eat tonight?" the answer already exists. Dinner simply becomes whatever meal is next in the rotation. Habit 3. Eat what you buy. Even households that cook regularly often lose money through spoiled food. Before buying new groceries, check what you already have. Look inside the refrigerator, check the freezer, scan the pantry shelves. Americans waste 30 to 40% of their food supply, which can equal around $1,500 per year for many households. One simple solution is a use what you have week. Once each month, meals are built entirely from ingredients already in the house. Leftover vegetables become stir-fries. Frozen items become quick dinners. Pantry ingredients finally get used. The refrigerator empties, and the grocery bill gets smaller. Habit 4. Make coffee at home. A coffee shop drink typically costs $6 to $8. Buying one every weekday can add up to $1,500 to $2,000 per year. Coffee brewed at home costs less than $1 per cup. That difference, about $1,800 annually, invested at an 8% return, could grow to nearly $200,000 over 30 years. But the interesting thing about coffee spending is psychological. It doesn't feel like spending money. It feels like buying a moment of comfort. And that's why small daily purchases can be so powerful. Energy drinks, convenience snacks, bottled drinks. Each purchase feels insignificant, but repeated daily, they quietly absorb thousands of dollars every year. Habit 5. Bring your own lunch. Buying lunch during the work week often costs $12 to $18 per meal. Over a year, that can add up to $3,000 to $4,500. Bringing lunch from home usually costs $3 to $5 per meal. That simple change can save around $2,000 to $3,000 per year. And the idea applies beyond work lunches, travel, airports, tourist destinations. People who travel frequently often stop at grocery stores for basic food instead of eating every meal at restaurants. It may not look glamorous, but it works. Habit 6. Add friction to spending. Online shopping has made spending money incredibly easy. A few taps on a phone and a purchase is complete. Research shows online shoppers spend 15 to 30% more than people shopping in physical stores. Why? Because there is no friction. Shopping in person introduces small barriers. Driving to the store, walking through aisles, standing in line. Each step creates a moment where you reconsider the purchase. Many impulse buys disappear the moment effort is required. Habit 7. Build a capsule wardrobe. Americans spend about $1,800 per year on clothing. Much of it gets worn only a handful of times. A capsule wardrobe focuses on a small number of versatile, high-quality pieces that work together. The key idea is cost per wear. A $300 jacket worn 100 times costs $3 per wear. A $30 shirt worn twice costs $15 per wear. Quality clothing worn regularly often becomes cheaper than inexpensive items rarely used. Habit 8. Pay yourself. First, most people save whatever money remains after spending. But spending naturally expands to fill available income. Instead, treat saving like a bill. The moment your paycheck arrives, automatically transfer money into savings and investments. Your lifestyle adapts to whatever remains. Because the easiest way to save money is to never see it in your spending account in the first place. Habit 9. Live 2 years behind your income. When income increases, most people immediately upgrade their lifestyle. A nicer apartment, a newer car, more expensive habits. This pattern is called lifestyle creep. Instead, try living 2 years behind your income. When your salary increases, maintain your previous lifestyle for a while. The difference between your old spending and your new income becomes savings and investments. That gap builds wealth over time. Habit 10. Turn a hobby into income. Many self-made millionaires eventually develop multiple income streams. Often this begins by monetizing something they already enjoy doing. Fitness, writing, teaching, consulting, crafts. Even a hobby producing $200 to $500 per month can significantly accelerate investing. Extra income becomes extra fuel for wealth building. The boring math individually. These habits may seem small, but together they can save $13,000 to $20,000 per year compared to typical spending patterns. Investing $15,000 annually at an 8% return for 25 years can grow to more than $1 million. Not through luck, not through speculation, just consistent habits repeated over decades. Final thought. At the end of the day, wealth is rarely built through exciting decisions. It's built through discipline that most people find boring. Driving practical cars, cooking simple meals, saving before spending, investing consistently. These habits rarely look impressive on social media, but over time they create something far more valuable than appearance. They create freedom. Because the real purpose of money isn't to impress other people. It's to give you control over your time, your choices, and your future. And strangely enough, the path to that freedom is usually the one that looks the most boring at first.